Hi, I'm Rosie and I make stuff. In this video I'll be making a Victorian skirt drafted from the Keystone jacket and dress cutter published in 1895. This book is a really good resource if you want to look into Victorian tailoring and pattern drafting, because with this book you can draft patterns to fit you or someone else from scratch, and the easiest to start with is the skirt pattern. The skirt is quite simple in its construction and not that different to a modern skirt pattern. It consists of one front piece of fabric which has darts in each side, which is cut on the fold, and it has two back pieces and a waistband, and it closes at the back. I also added pockets because there needs to be some kind of law that means that all dresses and skirts should have pockets. I'm using a thick twill cotton for this project and it is 44 inches wide, and I have 2 meters of it, which is plenty enough for this project. This skirt is going to be T-length, about 27 inches long, and it will sit at the natural waistline, which is what helps with the Victorian silhouette to really cinch in the waist. What makes this skirt interesting is it's kind of like a mullet. It's a mullet of the skirt world. It's business at the front, party at the back. From the front, it's very sleek lines, fitted over the waist and hips. This will probably be floor length, but I'm doing it T-length. But at the back, there is extra fabric which is gathered or pleated up, which the Victorians pretty much loved. So here are my cutout pieces. This is just a random strip which I'm going to use to make the waistband, which I have not drafted. I will do that later. And I have 3 pieces for the skirt. Ooh, and pocket pieces, obviously. That's important. I'll do the pocket pieces first. So, this is my lovely shawl. It is a little bit nippy in here, so a nice shawl is very, very welcome. Okay, so I've drawn these out kind of scrappily, so I will go around it again and be a little bit more precise. And I have 4 pieces of fabric for pockets, 2 for each side, and I've cut the opening on the selvage, so I don't have to finish that and it'll be nice and not bulky. So I'm going to put that on there, and with a small piece like this I'll just hold it down with my hand and go around it with a blue pencil crayon. So I'm going to do the front part first, and this was cut on the fold on this side with the grain running down. Here is the mark to the opening of the pocket and 1 little dart. But here I have to be careful, it's also a dart, but it's a dart split into 2 panels. So I need to be quite aware of how much I need to sew there. So I'm going to do this very inelegantly because my table is not big enough. Just all flat. What I'm going to do is get some clips. Right, I'm all clipped up down the fold fabric, so that's not going to move. And now I'm going to draw around it a bit neater than I did last time. And to the bottom. Not going to mark the bottom because I'll decide the hem later. Now I need to replicate it on the other side. Or do I? No, I don't. I can just do the double marking thingy, which I can't remember the name of. Excellent, yes, I'll do that. Right, according to Authentic Victorian Dressmaking Techniques, a very good book. She is slim.
but she is chock full of goodness. And there's a very good section about thread marking. There we go. Tailor's tacks. Great. And just thread up a needle. Okay, I have consulted my oracle, and it recommends a double thread basting to go through both the pieces of fabric at the same time, with one long stitch and two short stitches, and the long stitch should be left loose so you can put your finger under it. And also, isn't that just the cutest? It doesn't stand up there. Really shouldn't do this on camera. Oh, that went well. You know it's going to go wrong if you do it on camera. Okay, so no knot, double length. It's about as long as my arm, which is a good length for me, having quite short arms. And I'm just going to baste. Oh god, I need a thimble. Aha! Nice long tail. And a nice long loop. And two short stitches. And I'm following the dark blue line. Doing this around the camera is actually quite difficult. Who knew? Flippin' heck. And I think that's all the yarn I have. Yarn, thread. So I'm just gonna carry on where I don't have a camera watching, because it'll be damn sight quicker. So sewing the pockets is going to be the first thing I do, actually, because they kind of sew onto the skirt bit like elephant ears, if that makes any sense. And then the whole side seam of the skirt gets sewn around. Right, so I've done all my tacking stitches, and now the fun bits. I have to snip all of these long bits. And then gently prise these apart. But not fully. Then I can go in the middle and snip. Now I have my stitch markings, I'm going to pin on the pockets and pin together the darts. I have put my needles in the most inconvenient place possible. I'll just have to move that as I go. I'm going to stitch just inside the thread mark. A lovely neat stitch there, and I can pull these threads out just for the pocket section. And I have an elephant ear of a pocket. That's quite neat. Happy with that. Two dots. Just about the same length. Just about. Now the initial seams are sewn and I've given it a good iron and did the darts on a tailor's ham so that they have nice smooth curves. Now I have the task of very neatly lining up these side seams. Start with one side. With one elephant ear. And this is right side up. Then this one, which goes right side down. I've sewn my side seams up now and ironed them, and they look pretty good. As the pocket, it's pretty much invisible, which is what I wanted. And what I'm going to go do now is finish off all these inside seams, and I'm going to do those by hand. Okay, I totally lied. I'm doing it by machine because it's just here, so yeah. I'm just going to pin evenly from the centre, working out. It's this back panel where things start to get interesting. Here's our waistband stops here, the fabric carries on. And just at this dart is where I'm pinning it last, because this needs to get pleated up into the waistband. I am, however, going to spend about 1,000,000 years picking out all these threads. Thread marking 2 bits of fabric at once might be good in theory, but if you do it one at a time, then you just have one thread that you can just pull out and not all these horrible little bits, which is going to infuriate me. I've ironed now my waistband now and folded it over, so this is the front, there's the other side, and I've folded it over and ironed it flat and pinned it. This is going to be the placket for the inside, and on the other side I have a little button flap. I don't think it's called button flap, but now it is. I'm going to finish this off by hand now. It's dinosaur time. This thread isn't the most ideal colour to be using, but it was one I already had in my stash, and it's not too bad. So I'd rather use something I have that's not quite right than have to buy more, because colour matching on the internet is a bit of a guessing game anyway. I finished my stitching inside, nice and neat, and it doesn't show on the outside, which is good. Now I'm pinned together the back, and I'm going to sew it up to about 6 inches. This will stay open as a placket. Although I might put some hooks or press studs or something in there, just so it doesn't billow open at the back, because nobody wants it billowing out over your bum. So I have this all nice and pressed now. I've just had it on my dress form with no fastenings, so I've got some slight clip marks there, which I'll have to iron out again. And my fastenings. So hook and bar for that bit. And some snaps to go down there. Nope, I just did a little seam down there to hold it, and I might do another one, but maybe not, because it kind of looks like another pleat there, so I like that look. And I didn't put a placket in the end, I just left the selvage, because that's a nice neat edge. And I'll put some press studs up there. Also, off camera, I did a hem, which is by hand. It's not the neatest thing in the world, but I had an idea that I might put like a length of ribbon on to disguise that and add a little bit of decoration, but I haven't seen any yet that I really like, so hopefully people just won't look at my hem.
So after sewing on the skirt hook, I then sewed on the snaps, and she was finished. So obviously I needed to do some dressing up. I didn't really have anything of the era to hand, so I just decided to dress up as an evil librarian, because that's what you do. It is October after all. And I think we need a little bit of a change of music. Thank you for joining me on this project. I had a lot of fun and I learned awful lot, and it's made me realise that I need more history bounding items in my closet because I don't have enough. I was actually wearing my mum's 1970s silk shirt, which is an original vintage item. Not quite the same as 1900s, but as close as we can get. Please like and subscribe if this was interesting to you, and I'll be coming back with more.